Good afternoon and welcome back to Girded with Truth. Thank you so much for joining us once again as we continue our series Chosen to Conquer. God has chosen you to conquer so many things, but today we're talking about strength and courage. Judges chapter 7 verses 2 and 3 says, "And the Lord said unto Gideon, The people that are with thee are too many for me to give the Midianites into their hands, lest Israel vaunt themselves against me, saying, Mine own hand hath saved me. Now therefore go to proclaim in the ears of the people, saying, Whosoever is fearful and afraid, let him return and depart early from Mount Gilead. And there returned of the people 20 and 2,000, and there remained 10,000. So here we are seeing the first aspect of strength and courage is to not be afraid. Gideon was ready to face the Midianites. God had chosen Gideon to conquer the Midianites, but God gave an instruction to Gideon that whosoever is afraid, let them go back. And he also put them through another test in the way they drank water. And why he did this? Was it because God wanted to mock them or to tease them or anything like that? No. God was looking for a specified group of people. He was looking for the minority. He was looking for the remnant, as they were. And he wanted to use this minority to free the Israelites because he wanted them to understand that he is the one who saved them and not them saving themselves. Judges chapter 7 verse 7 says, "And the Lord said unto Gideon, By the 300 men that lapped will I save you, and deliver the Midianites into thine hand, and let all the other people go, every man unto his place." So everyone who did not qualify for the battle had to go back home. And the thing that qualified them is the fact that they had strength and courage. God wanted people who were not afraid. He wanted courageous men. And the other men who drank water the right way were people who were strong, who knew how to position themselves, whether they were in the heat of battle or not. Because the thing about war is that people can come against you at any point in time, but you have to be well positioned, well postured in order to fight the enemy in any way at any time. And Nehemiah would have followed this principle when he had men build with one hand and armed with the other. So God is arming his people for war. He is choosing men to conquer. But today's message is showing that God needs men of strength and courage. And one of the main men in the Bible who had strength and courage, who God beckoned to have strength and courage, was Joshua. Joshua chapter 1 verses 6 to 9 says, "Be strong and of a good courage, for unto this people shalt thou divide for an inheritance the land which I swear unto their fathers to give them. Only be thou strong and very courageous, that thou mayest observe to do according to all the law, which Moses my servant commanded thee. Turn not from it to the right hand or to the left, that thou mayest prosper whithersoever thou goest. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. Have not I commanded thee? Be strong and of a good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed, for the Lord thy God is with thee whithersoever thou goest." Now we know Joshua was chosen by God. When Moses died, God chose Joshua and appointed him as the leader that would lead the Israelites, that would take them into the land he promised them. And Joshua was a man of war, because Joshua was known for the one who helped the Israelites conquer the land, who helped the Israelites take their territory, the territory promised to them by God since in the days of Abraham. So God was using Joshua. He chose Joshua to conquer the land. He chose Joshua to conquer everyone who occupied the land, so that his people can grab hold of the inheritance and the promise he had for them. But Joshua's stipulation was simply to be strong and very courageous. God is calling his people to supernatural strength. The strength that Joshua had to exhibit in this situation was not regular strength. It was supernatural strength. Yesterday we spoke about David and how he had supernatural power based on the divine intervention of God. He had supernatural power, so that stone became that boulder. And now we are seeing Joshua and the Israelites armed for war. We are seeing the fact that God told Joshua to be strong and very courageous, because not all the time your weapon is the thing you use to take out the enemy. Sometimes the fact that you have strength and courage goes further than the weapons you possess. God began to use strategy in this era, in this time, to take out the enemy more than the weapons they would possess. Joshua had a handful of men. He had also a remnant. God told Joshua to get men of war, men ready for battle. And it was these same men that God used, who had strength and courage to fight the enemy. And Joshua could not lead them if he himself did not have strength and courage. God is calling his people to strength and courage. He's calling you to strength and courage. All of us who have been called to war needs to first have strength and courage. God has chosen you to conquer. He has chosen us to have the victory, to win the battle. But first, we must have strength and courage. So today, I am telling you, be strong and very courageous, and victory will be yours. You will have good success. You will receive all that God has for you. It will be done supernaturally. But first, you must have strength and courage. You have been chosen to conquer. Go forth and conquer. Thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful afternoon. Bye.